Hi, Dean. Just want to know what is it like? What was it like batting out there? And after your innings, did you think that 220 would turn out to look like a competitive score at the end of the day?
Yeah, it was actually quite nice to bat, but obviously being a new wicket and day one, first session, first hour is always going to be challenging. But I almost had a feeling that we had to start well against the seamers because of the nature that the game might slow up with the spinners that they're obviously going to bring on. So I thought it was a good opportunity for us to try and score quickly and try and get some easier runs, if I could say that, just knowing that the game might slow down. So yeah, there was a bit of risk element to the nature of our play that we had to have, say, in the first hour. As it worked out, we were only one down in the first hour. And going into lunch, I thought we were in a very good position, being 80 odd for two. And then as the subcontinent always has a trick up its sleeve, we found ourselves 5 or 6 down very quickly, straight after lunch. And then to touch on your second question about the 220, I still think it's a very, very under par score. I still think as a batter, if you apply yourself and you knuckle down and you try and eliminate areas of where the bowler is trying to get you out, I think you can score. So with regards to 220, I think it's very under par. But saying that, I'm also very glad they're 20 odd for 4.
We'll go with Telford, followed by Shoaib Jatt, and then Ken Boland.
How's it, Dean? Well played. Obviously a hell of a day's play on a pitch that didn't look unlike a couple of fourth-day strips in Kimberley that I've seen. And who's on top after a day like that, would you say?
I'd say we are, Telford. I think after our first innings of batting, I don't think I would have said that. But as I mentioned in the previous question, them being 20 odd for 4 is something we would have bought overnight. It would have paid good money to have them 4 down for such a low score. Knowing that the pitch is obviously going to become a little bit tougher for them to score, and knowing that we have some very good spinners in our arsenal that we can obviously exploit on that pitch. But saying that the pitch isn't playing badly. I feel that we didn't particularly bat very well in our first innings, which we rightly know. We know that we haven't fulfilled our potential, especially the way we've prepared leading up to this test. We've had some very good preparations, but sometimes test cricket can get the better of you and you can get caught in the moment. You have to respect that as well. There were a few incidences that obviously we never practiced for. So, yeah, it was a up and down day, but I would say we are. I would say it was maybe a day for South Africa.
Thank you.
Hi, Elgar. When the play was started, Pakistan were happy. They restricted you in a low total, but in the day ending, now South Africa is dominating on the game. What do you think? Is it still open this match, or do you think now South Africa has advantage because Pakistan will bat in 4th inning, and it will not be an easy task to bat in 4th inning on this track?
Definitely, I think as I alluded to in the previous question, I do think South Africa had the better day, even though it was a very low scoring first innings for us. It could have gone either way, with them maybe being 40 for naught overnight, and then we really in a bad position going into day 2. So I'm very thankful that they 4 wickets down. I think our bowlers really set the tone. KG, Anas, Lungi, the seamers, there's not a lot on offer for them, but they really came in and they brought the intensity, which is obviously the one thing that we could control as a bowling unit. And obviously coming into tomorrow, that we only need 6 wickets and we need to go and apply ourselves and hopefully learn from our mistakes that we had in the first innings, and obviously try not and repeat them and try and get a sizable lead on Pakistan.
Ken Fidos, and then we'll go with Faizan Lakhani.
Hi, Dean. Well batted.
Thanks.
As you mentioned, the scoring rate was pretty good before lunch, but then after lunch, do you think the guys pushed a bit too hard? I mean, there were a few guys caught playing attacking shots and of course, 2 run-outs as well.
Yeah, I think you can always get caught in trying to balance your intensity that you want to play with by what the scoreboard is currently reflecting. I think at lunch we were batting at over 3.5 runs and over, and I think in the sub, if you can maintain that throughout the day, you're always going to have a good day with the bat. But as alluded, there were a few things that happened, and we could see that you could bat on the pitch with Temba and like George. They obviously applied themselves and showed that there's no real demons in the wicket. But yeah, sure, when the ball gets softer and the ball starts spinning a little bit more, it does pose a little bit of a challenge for the batters. So yeah, I think it was just more of a balancing act of us maintaining our very good start we had in the first session, and obviously not getting caught into our own kind of bubbles, which I think we definitely had a little bit after lunchtime, knowing that the wicket is most probably going to become a little bit slower as the test goes on.
Hi, Dean. Well batted. Dean, you kind of hinted at this balancing act between kind of being watchful and then pushing the run rate on. What would your advice be for some of the younger guys in the lineup who, like Ken said, maybe guys want to go for it a bit? How much do you need to hang back, and when would you say you can go for it?
I think you've got to earn your right in Test cricket. For those, I think we earned our right up until lunch, and then you got to respect the break that we had, and then we got to start again. We got to earn the right again for us to create our own platform again. So it's maybe giving yourself another 10, 20 overs, or maybe 10, 15 overs after the break, just to try and build that platform and build on the partnership again. You find we didn't have those moments where we had a lot of like a quick kind of wickets in wrong intervals, if I can say that. So to the younger batters, I guess it's more of just trusting your defence, and obviously be very conscious on what you've been preparing in the past, which you've done, and we've had great preparation leading into this. And obviously just trust in your game a bit. Sometimes you got to just go a little bit defensive, and you got to trust your defensive game just to earn the right to start a little bit more expansive.
Up next, we're going to have Faizan, and then followed by Aram Mohammed and Asif Musamil, and then we're going to finish off with Kanyi Sochaku.
Thanks, Prakash. Just 2 wickets in the first session and then 12 wickets in the next 2 sessions, including 8 in the final session. Were you expecting this sort of wicket on day 1 of the test, and how do you see wicket behaving in next 4 days? Or do you think this game would go to 5th day?
I don't know. I can't predict the future. I wish I could. But I had a feeling that the wicket was going to be it's going to be quite slow and low as the ball gets softer as the day goes on. But I didn't think it would be a 14 wickets loss day 1 kind of wicket. It definitely doesn't look at it at first glance. I do think there was a few very soft dismissals throughout both innings that they could have been maybe eliminated a little bit more. Saying that's also Test cricket. It's the nature of the game. Yeah, and hopefully we can get our 6 wickets early tomorrow and go bat again. But saying that, we also, if you put out intensity on the pitch, you're going to get some rewards. And we showed, and Pakistan bowlers also showed, if you put the ball in the right area, be consistent, work on the game plans that you've been working on, you're going to have success.
Aram? Aram Mohammed?
Aram.
Okay, we'll move on to Asif Musamil. Asif going once, going twice. All right, Kanyiso.
Okay. Dean, first and foremost, good afternoon and congratulations. Now that Baba Azam's out, there's Azar Ali and Fadel at the crease, and also Rizwan to come. How important will that first hour become tomorrow morning? Do you feel that it could define the course of the test match?
Definitely. I think if we can try and emulate the way we started with the ball this evening, if we can really knuckle down and do that within the first hour, I think we're gonna build a lot of pressure and we're gonna have chances come our way. Going into day two, the game sped up so quickly with 14 wickets already. We know the importance of that first hour. But knowing how fast bowlers that we have in the team, they're going to bring the intensity again. That's something that they pride themselves on. It's something that they've worked really hard on. It's the way they've been preparing bowling to us in the nets and in our practice match that we had. So yeah, we have to stop the ball tomorrow. We have to stop the ball and not give them a lot of free scoring options. And we still got to keep the pressure on them.
Thanks very much, everybody, for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow at the next post play presser. Have a good one.